always thought Pablo Neruda is a wonderful poet. And then I found his memoirs, and I began to read them, and I realized he's also a wonderful storyteller. And this poem is based on an anecdote from his memoirs. It's called The Swan. They brought her the half-dead swan. She knew the men hunted them with sticks in a boat. They flapped their huge wings, tried to run on top of the water. Warmed down, swan pie prized black bill. She cleaned the wounds, pressed bread and fish into its mouth, for the slow, muscular swallow the food retched back up. For 18 days she carried the swan to the lake, showed it the long stems of the water plants, would it upend the tubers and stalks, remember how to fish, watched it float with its stained glass eyes and half a wild heart, waiting for the lake's old sense of passage and kin. One day it drifted more listless than usual. She waded in and picked it up. A hand brushed her face as the neck fell down her shoulder, her back. A breeze stirred the ferns and the leaves and the hair on her neck, alone with the singing insects and this new weight in her arms. Well, when our musician was figuring out his sets, he mentioned he had trouble with numbers. Well, so do I. And this poem is about my very uneasy relationship with numbers. It's called How Much? I can still hear the bike's chain rattle as I bounced off the road, down a ditch, up into a path through a field, ready for that grand lineage of shortcuts, the multiplication tables. 80 sets of 12 mosquitoes sucking a moose dry in a nearby bog. Maybe 12 times 4 frogs watching. The sums braiding deltas and beginnings to a 12-year-old girl putting her bike away for the night. The grade 1 teacher said, "Circle the largest." I stared at the numbers, wondered which of them weighed the most. Took out my ruler to measure each figure's height, a 2 often larger than an 8. When my mother found a way to explain the inner lives of numbers, 3 became owls, and 9 the number of days to walk to Quebec. Years later, in geometry, lines stretched south or northwest, and points on a line could be the epicenter of blue. And I thought algebra an elegant word. But when X turned 5, or Y dissolved into 7, the woman who stole children still buffed her nails in the light of a lamp with a fringe. What spooked me were the figures that precede 0, the negatives. My moose haunted by the cows he never had, the 100 or so moose horns he'd loved to trample but could never find. What was God thinking? That abundance was deceiving? That even innocent 3 needs a shadow? I still count the white lines in a road by 2s when I'm driving away from the ocean. Still count on the side of my skull, through my fingertips, my hair, my skin stretched over my drum of a head, 48 plus tap, 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 equals 53. My son wonders if equations can be composed for anything, like Velcro that doesn't work, or the folded wings of a hummingbird. I wonder too. He's coming at it from the other end, the world sharp in his hands, pencil drawings erased when they don't add up, a skateboard, frost shards, a snake that swallowed a crocodile.